The school, I'm sure, will deny or, call it questionable. Do you want me to name names? Do you want me to name like the time outside the library where that short brunette guy in my grade at gift exchange gave me a box with frilly baby panties and a bottle of baby oil? Crossroads, let that sink in for 60 seconds. Y'all don't need 60 seconds, you guys. Anyway, they do, apparently. So within this safety bubble that I found, as outrageous as it was, I found acceptance. My gang of four accepted me for who and what I am. Bad, good, authentic, just flourishing in a very weird way. Let's put it that way. But they recognized it, and I think underneath they knew I needed it. And they had been at the school through those 7th and 8th grades, and I'm sure obviously they, got wind of like the fact that I was coded as this geeky FAG. So there was no judgment finally. I got this safety bubble. I rolled around in it. My peers at high school sort of backed off, and I became this sort of fearless, kind of unpredictable rebel, but I had found acceptance where there was no judgment. Unless I showed up in disco shorts and a visor, there was no judgment. I didn't have to align with anything at that point. I did so deliberately, but I don't even think they knew that or know it. But they were a lifeline to me. I knew if I had to go through 9th grade the way I went through 7th and 8th grade, I wouldn't be here talking to you. For whatever reason, I don't think I'd be here. Unless, of course, I had met my husband through some magic and then he made me a better person. But that didn't happen for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. So that's a lot of lost time in there. And again, we all know about my 14th year. I'm so sick of defending that. So in the long run, I was able, again, for better or worse, to find my authentic self. And that meant, painting the town black and blue for, an entire year, my 14th year. But what they don't understand, not you, Gall, but they, is that this saved my life. Finding an acceptance bubble to avoid being coded as an FAG and a geek and being bullied and humiliated. Yeah. I to that 14th year, I said, bring it on, because it's going to unlive me. Unless I get accepted, unless I find somewhere to be safe. Even with attendees at a Black Flag concert, I felt more accepted. Getting a black eye in the mosh pit at a Suburban Lawns concert, still, I would have taken that black eye, because I also had an abusive home. I had an abusive home life. So then I go into 7th, 8th grade, and then there's that. So yeah, of course, 9th grade is going to be my last ditch attempt at normalcy, whatever that means. So that's kind of how I fell in. I've never really talked about how I kind of fell into this notorious 14th year. I've talked about it. I've talked about not talking about 10th grade because it's in my book. I've talked about kind of, 11th and 12th, the academic stuff, traveling, but I never really talked about how I went from geeky disco boy to intimidated punk rock. Intimidating, not intimidated. Remember the fearlessness, punk rocker. So anyway, that's my story tonight. I don't know if it was entertaining or informative or compelling, but there it is. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Clip of the day, teasers, preview, show, and that's it. That's all I can give you for now. So be good to yourself, be good to those that you care about, and just tune out everyone that is not enriching your life in some way to the best of their ability. Okay, bye.